Hello again, it's me, Craig, and this is Quarantime with Craig. This is day 3 of me being in a 14-day lockdown. I'm stuck at home for 14 days because my girlfriend developed a cough. So every single day I'm trying to record a video about design or marketing or a useful topic really around the thing I do, which is marketing and design and stuff like that. So today I decided to record a video about this after I got this really good question from Tracy and Matt. I tweeted earlier today about any stuff I can cover on design, marketing, branding, any specific requests, and Tracy said, be good to explore e-commerce, not just for a physical product, but what businesses can sell online and deliver online. And then Matt kind of added to it and said, anything about adapting for deliveries given the latest announcement. So I sat down and thought about that, and I thought, everybody's kind of aware of what e-commerce is in a general kind of concept. But the underlying things to e-commerce is the stuff that most businesses, particularly businesses that are currently offline doing no kinds of online trading whatsoever, those kind of concepts and the underlying principles of that, they're not aware of those things at all. So this video covers those kind of principles, and I've called it quickly adapting a physical business into a digital one. This may run a little bit longer than 30 minutes, by the way, because I've got a ton of stuff to get through that I really want to share with you in it. So we're going to go over a concept throughout this video that I've called knowledge, service, and product. That's kind of the core of what we're going to be covering. And the reason that I've kind of decided to go on about quickly adapting a physical business into a digital one is because of this announcement today. So this was announced by Boris Johnson mere hours ago that the UK is going to shut down pubs and restaurants, theatres, cinemas, gyms, leisure centres, a whole host of public venues are going to be shutting down today. So that affects a lot of businesses. If you're a pub, a restaurant, a gym, a theatre, a cinema, that's going to immediately impact your bottom line. You can't sell stuff. From your shop, at least, anyway. And if you've got no kind of online presence whatsoever, you're probably thinking about right now how you can quickly adapt your business into a digital one. But this doesn't really just affect pubs and restaurants and gyms and theatres and stuff. This also affects clothing retailers, bookshops, coffee shops, local newsagents, any other kind of brick and mortar store that has kind of been previously struggling in this crazy last week that we've had, and probably, if they're honest with themselves, previously struggling for quite a long time in just a pure retail game. There's not many retailers left out there now that are just doing the retail side and not even attempting to dabble with the online stuff. So this video covers those concepts of quickly adapting a business and finding the things inside your business, in your physical business, that you can adapt to an online product, and fairly quickly too. So I'm not going to be specifically talking about e-commerce, but the things inside this video underpin the values of e-commerce. So I'm going to be talking about selling online, what can you sell online, so basically discovering the products you can sell, adapting a physical product to a digital product, and then ways to sell online. So we're going to begin by talking about selling online. Selling online, or at least classic selling online, is the kind of thing that this is what we think about. We think of Amazon, who sell pretty much everything you can think of online. In terms of physical products, they sell online. And then we think of supermarkets, for example, like Asda, which is a popular one in the UK. We think of a brick and mortar store like a supermarket selling their products to an online audience. We often think of the digital aspect as being secondary to the physical aspect because it's just the way that our brains work. You know, we think about physical products all the time. We are tactile beings. We like to touch things. So when we're thinking of digital things, we're thinking of transferring physical to online. But everybody else in the digital space, or at least people who've been doing it for quite a long time, are thinking of stuff like this. Just Eat, for example, in the UK is a hugely popular takeaway service. So you order from a takeout restaurant or a takeaway that don't even let you sit in it. You order the food on that website or in the app, and it gets delivered to your house. And then other kinds of methods of digital services are The Guardian, which we'll look at in a little bit more detail a bit later on. They now offer a completely online subscription model. You don't even get their physical paper at all. It's just a digital version, sorry. And they still order the book as well. You can still order the actual paper, the newspaper, the daily paper, or you can order the thing that they've launched called The Guardian Weekly, which is a weekly, as they describe, a weekly global magazine from The Guardian with delivery worldwide. So they've shifted from just being a newspaper to other things, and we'll look at that in a bit more detail. And then we've got things like Udemy. At least I think that's how you say it. I've never really known exactly how you say that actual word. And we've got things like Udemy, which is people who are making digital courses, who are recording things much like how I'm recording this right now. They record a series of videos that transfer knowledge, and then they put it on a website like Udemy. It's one of many, by the way. It's just one of the most popular ones. They put their course on Udemy for people to download and consume through the app or through the website whenever they want. So those are the kind of broad spectrum of different kinds of digital products or businesses, I guess. But there's lots more versions of that. So we need to kind of think about, what can you sell online? That is probably the question you're asking yourself right now. If you are a physical business and you have no kind of products online, you're probably wondering, how can I sell something online? You might not even realize the things that you can sell online in your business because you think everything is physical and it can't easily be transferred into an online product. The short answer to what can you sell online is this: anything. You can literally sell anything online, and trust me when I say that, you can literally sell anything online. This is a website called Glitter Retribution. They sell a wide variety of glitter products. This is only one of them they sell, which is a glitter bomb letter that you can send to your enemies or your friends. They open the letter at home and it pops out glitter all over their carpet, all over their face, all over their clothes, and I imagine really annoys people. That's just one example of a crazy product that you could buy online that somebody is selling right now. And then another example is Gumroad. Gumroad is, as they say there, an e-commerce website for creators. The kind of people that use Gumroad are people who have usually developed a blog or a large Twitter following, or on something else online. They've developed some kind of following, and then they start creating products on Gumroad, which are digital products, and that could be anything from music or videos or books or articles or podcasts or songs or basically anything. And also, I've dabbled with it too. I wrote a book and I published it on Gumroad just to try it out and to see how Gumroad worked, and it was very, very easy to do. So if you have some kind of knowledge product, and we'll discuss what they are in a little bit, Gumroad could be a potential for you selling something on there. And you might think right now you do not have a knowledge product that you could sell on one of these random websites that I've just shown, but hopefully I'm going to show you that you might have. So these are some of the other kind of things that you could potentially sell online. Some of them are classic things like food or books or other physical products. The other things that you might not be so familiar with are things like knowledge, like videos or articles or emails or podcasts or music or services, and so much more. There's all kinds of different things that you can actually sell online. It's not limited to this. If you just start to look on the internet, or you might even already follow somebody on the internet, you can start to follow a big celebrity or something like that. You can see this process in action. There's a guy that's just popped into my head actually that you'll probably be familiar with, and let's look him up. So it's the guy who wrote Lean in 15. So this guy is called Joe Wicks, and he's got a website. It's called The Body Coach, and I believe, if I just scroll down to the bottom, the majority of his following began through Instagram and through Facebook. So Joe Wicks has now got 3.1 million followers on Instagram. He's got loads on Facebook too, and he built the majority of his audience through Instagram and Facebook. He started by writing a series of books which was Lean in Something. So he's written Lean in 15 and various other different books, and he sells those books through his online channels. And now he's got a website too. And when you look at his website, you can see that he offers 90-day food plans, graduate plans, 90-day plan, transformations, even kitchenware now. So Joe Wicks has gone the full circle, really. He started with a kind of book or a knowledge product where he's transferring his knowledge as a personal trainer into a book for recipes. He's gone the full circle to offer some kind of physical product as well, which is a series of pots and pans and all kind of other things. So when you start to think like this and open up your mind to what you could potentially sell, there's probably a lot more than what you're actually thinking about. And when you actually start to look at other people who are doing it, you'll realize that there's a million examples out there that you're probably already aware of, that you've seen before. So that's just one simple example. So food, books, knowledge, articles, emails, podcasts, videos, physical products, services, and so much more. There's lots of stuff you can do, and some of that stuff that you already do, you could adapt into a digital product. And that's the main core of what I want to talk about in this video, adapting a physical product to a digital product. The flow of actually creating a digital product from a physical product looks something like this. It's pretty simple. You take a physical product that you already have, you think about it a little bit, ask yourself the question, how can somebody consume this online? And then you have an online product at the end of it. Obviously, there's lots of development and other kinds of things in the middle, and then you might have to get designers or developers, or you might have to set up some kind of online store to make it happen. But the actual process, if you look at this, is fairly simple. The simple process is asking one question: how can somebody consume this online? And when you start to think about it, you see examples of it everywhere. So let's go back to The Guardian. The Guardian is a popular UK newspaper, or at least it used to just be a popular UK newspaper, and now it's kind of, I think it's probably fair to say, a global phenomenon. The Guardian is now not just a newspaper, even though it started there. The newspaper industry, the physical print industry, started to die down. People stopped buying newspapers. So The Guardian started to move towards a more online product. It used to be called The Guardian Online, and now they've changed it. It's just The Guardian. And this is one of the most popular news sites on the planet today. So they asked the question, how can somebody consume this, a physical newspaper, online, which is this? They publish a lot of their news that's straight out of the newspaper on their website. They are now also have completely exclusive news that's on their website that isn't in the newspaper, because the website is obviously way more up to date than the actual newspaper. They were one of the leading organisations that kind of started the whole live blogging thing, and I'm rolling my eyes because I hate it, but The Guardian was one of the leading organisations that set that up, and now every single newspaper website constantly live blogs anything. And by the way, I'm sorry about this screenshot, it's just that I took it today and everybody's talking about the coronavirus. So yeah, they took the idea of turning a physical newspaper into an online product, and the result is this. The total online product is a digital subscription that costs you $5.99 per month, and you get access to the app completely ad-free, extra access to the app, so there's extra sections of it that you can only access once you have a subscription. You get access to The Guardian daily and lots more. So they've transferred completely from a one and only physical product. They've asked themselves the question, how can somebody consume this online? Created a website to consume the content that is in their physical newsletter, their newspaper, online, and then they turned it into a product where somebody can buy a subscription and then get access or extra access to their newspaper. It's a really simple example, and it's somewhat of an obvious one, but it can be applied to probably what you're thinking of right now too. And then obviously we look at pizza. So pizza is a physical product. Somebody, like a Domino's Pizza, asked, how can somebody consume this online? Obviously they're not consuming the physical pizza online, they're just ordering the pizza online, and then Domino's Pizza was created. These, obviously you can ring them up to, and Domino's have physical locations, but one of the things that Domino's are more well known for now is their slick online delivery service through the app and through their website. And as you can see on this screenshot here, the pizza tracker in the bottom corner that keeps you up to date of where your pizza is and how quickly they deliver it to you. So Domino's also took a physical product, pizza, didn't just deliver it to in a restaurant. They decided, how can somebody consume this online? They created Domino's Pizza, and then they created a website, and now they have an online product, basically a pizza that can be 100% purchased online and delivered to your door. So looking at those two examples, there's probably plenty of things in there that you can think about how you could digitize the thing that you've got right now that's a physical product that you don't feel like you could digitize. So food, books, knowledge, articles, emails, podcasts, videos, physical products, services, and so much more. They're the kind of physical things that you can turn into some kind of digital business. But there's also the other side of it too, where I believe every business or service has knowledge that can be sold. So I'm going to repeat that. Every business or service has knowledge that can be sold. Inside your business somewhere, outside of the physical products, outside of the pizzas or the newspapers, you've got something in your business that is purely knowledge that can be sold. So, as an example, I'm going to take 3 quite traditional businesses that we do not classify as being online in any kind of way, and I'm going to look at all 3 of them and give you examples of how these could be turned into some kind of online knowledge product or some kind of other digital product. So the 3 main things that you can kind of sell online are these: knowledge, services, and products. When we looked at the Guardian example at the beginning with the newspaper, they were selling a physical product online, so that you can actually subscribe to their physical newspaper online and get it delivered to your door. They're selling a knowledge product, which is all they're basically their words that are inside the newspaper. They are putting them online and you can access them. And if you pay for their service, which is the 3rd level, their monthly service, which is $5.99, you can access extra parts of their knowledge product and also extra parts of their physical product. So with The Guardian, they have all 3 knowledge, service, and product sections covered. If you're a plumber, for example, you probably don't have knowledge, service, and product covered in an online capacity at all. There's plenty of ways to do it, and I'm going to look at a simple example. So before this, I looked up MB Plumbing and Heating Yorkshire Limited. I basically Googled my town, which is Barnsley, plumbers in Barnsley, clicked on the first link and found this one. This website, I'm just going to go to the live website. This website is a classic example of just a plumber. It's just a regular plumber. You ring up this plumber and they will come out to your house and fix any issues that you've got. If you look around their website, it's fairly typical. They've got testimonials on here too. They've got contact details. They've got a little bit of a gallery of some of the work that they've done. So everything on there is typical of what you'd see basically of any other plumbing website or any other service that is similar to that. If we think about it a little bit for a second, a plumber has knowledge. A plumber has knowledge that other people do not have. If I want to fix my toilet or replace my toilet in my bathroom, I don't know how to do that. I could just pay for a plumber to come out to my house and fit the toilet, but I may not want to do that. I may want to learn how to do it myself. So if I wanted to learn how to do it myself, if I was a plumber, maybe someone like MB Plumbing and Heating Limited, I could make some kind of service, which is basically covering the S in our KSP. We could make some kind of service, maybe a monthly service that could potentially cost $5.99 a month or something like that, that gave me access to a suite of videos that is all about doing the regular plumbing fixes in my house. The things that plumbers don't really want to be pestered with, like fitting toilets because it's so simple, or changing toilet seats, or changing taps, or changing washers on taps, those kind of things. The things that plumbers traditionally don't make much money out of. Somebody might go online to find out the details of how to do that themselves. So one way could be to make a monthly service that you subscribe to that could be a couple of pounds a month, and you get access to a suite of videos that are professionally created by a plumber who tells you exactly how to do it. The other route down that, so the other way of sharing your knowledge, would be on YouTube. So for example, if I go on YouTube and just type into here how to fix a toilet flush, let's try a different one. So this video is an example of probably a plumber sharing a video online of how to fix a toilet. It's, as you can see, he's had 113,000 views, so this video is not exactly small change. It's a good example of a plumber sharing knowledge. So this plumber is sharing his knowledge online to somebody like me who knows nothing about plumbing or how to fix a toilet. He's sharing this video on YouTube for free, but the interesting thing about this is that he could make money from this. He could basically set up his video to use YouTube ads, so he can set up that service and make money from adverts from this video on YouTube. And then the other way that he could make money from this is by looking at some kind of plumbing blog. So if we look up plumbing blog, the plumbing blog, this is a blog that talks about plumbing. So here's a good example, how to bleed a radiator. This is an article that's sharing knowledge of how to bleed a radiator on a website. So a plumber, much like MB Plumbing and Heating, could set up a blog on there providing lots of knowledge. If he had extra knowledge that he thinks was worth a little bit more money, he could ask people to pay for access to that. So through those two things, knowledge, he could share his knowledge online in various different ways, like I've just mentioned. He could provide a service online where you pay a monthly fee to get access to his knowledge, and then basically get access to a suite of really professional videos about how to fix regular plumbing issues in your house. And then the third one, product, he could just simply put a form on his website. He already has a get quote form on there. He could just extend this out to turn it into a product, and it could basically just be an upfront fee. So if I needed an emergency plumber, which is one of the most popular things, if a leak suddenly springs in my house, often you'll quickly look around for an emergency plumber. If I was looking around for an emergency plumber and I wanted to know that they was going to turn up, I would be willing to pay a certain fee, I don't know, £50 or something like that, to guarantee that that plumber came out. So he could just have a form exactly like this to book an emergency plumbing appointment, which is a product, a digital product that he could sell. He has a form on his website with a PayPal button or something that automatically takes the money straight away. So he's selling his physical product, which is his plumbing knowledge and service, on his website digitally by taking money for it instantly. So with those three things, he has covered knowledge, service and product, and those are different ways that they could sell everything that they've got on there in kind of a traditional business that you don't think of as necessarily being a potentially digital business. The next one I want to look at is a coffee house. So again, we're going to apply the three things of knowledge, service and product. Let's look at Leicester Coffee House. So for this one, I just Googled coffee houses in Leicester. I don't know any particular coffee houses in Leicester, so I just picked the first one again. And when you look through this website, it's a very traditional kind of coffee house. Looks pretty nice. They've got a section talking about their coffee, and they've got a coffee of the month subscription. So these guys have already started doing one of the things that I was going to mention. So if we look at these three things again, knowledge, service and product, they have got two of these three already, service and product. So they're offering a service here, a coffee of the month subscription, which is a way to taste different coffees from all around the world. So I just merely come onto this page, so that they've got a product on here, which is coffee. I come onto this page, find out more, click a delivery, I can pay £11.50 per month to get that coffee delivered to my door every month, and it's a completely digital product. Well, it's a physical product sold in a digital world. So that already when I look at this website, they have got a product which is coffee from all around the world. They've got a monthly service on there that you could set up very simply using PayPal or something like Shopify, and we'll go through a few more of those different kind of things you could sell them on in a minute. They've got 2 examples of what they could do straight away there. It's worth thinking about in your business if there's a way to kind of develop some kind of monthly service product that you can sell. There's always something you can think of. In most businesses, there's some kind of monthly product you can sell, which customers can consume and keep purchasing. Because getting that regularly ticking over monthly recurring income is vital to survival for a lot of businesses right now. So we've got this service and the product side covered with the Leicester Coffee House. There's no kind of knowledge on this website though. When you are a coffee company, in this particular case, this is a coffee house, they are a coffee shop. They've got lots of knowledge that they've got inside their building from their baristas, or baristas is it? I'm not sure how you actually say that word. Being from Yorkshire, it's not a word I'm that familiar with. They've got knowledge in there that they could be sharing with the public, because coffee is a huge industry. And there's lots of people that are really passionate about coffee. But the people who are really passionate about coffee might not know how to make a good coffee. So they might have some fancy coffee machines at home, but they still go to posh coffee shops to get nice coffees. So these kind of super fans of coffee are really interested to find out the coffee shop's secret ways of making a really good coffee. So they could transfer that knowledge, basically provide the knowledge that the baristas have of how to make a really good coffee. And there's lots of ways that they could do that. They could think about setting up a monthly subscription service, again, that gives you access to a series of videos, again, similar to the plumber, where you get access to tips and hints and videos of how to make a perfect coffee. The other thing that they could do is set up some kind of knowledge transfer service, which is basically some kind of private blog or private email list or something like that, where you get hot tips every week on how to make the best coffee, where to buy the best coffee. This newsletter might purely be where to find the best and newest coffee for coffee superfans. So then, through that thing, through the email newsletter or some kind of videos, they would have a knowledge product, the service they already have, which is a coffee of the month subscription service, and then the third one is the product, which is their coffee. They have made branded coffee, which is coffee from all around the world. So they're already hitting 2 of them with this website, which is really good. And then finally, I want to go over one more. The final example is a market stall. Looks a little bit like this. You go and buy fresh veg, fresh bread, or any kind of other fresh product. There's tons of these in Barnsley, where I'm from. We've got quite a thriving market town. So in the current situation that we find ourselves in now, Boris Johnson has announced that a lot of public areas are getting shut down. There isn't going to be the same amount of footfall that used to be to market stalls, particularly fresh veg and other things like that. People just aren't going to want to leave the house. So a market stall, which is a completely, purely physical business, is going to really struggle over the next couple of months. This kind of business is no different from the other 2. There's an opportunity to sell your knowledge, your service, or your product. The service side of this, so potentially some kind of monthly service that somebody can subscribe to, is very, very easy to achieve. So we look at something like a veg subscription service. Box Fresh is a great example of this. This is a monthly subscription service. As you can see there, due to high demand, we have currently reached capacity for this week's deliveries, so it's a bad example right here. But basically, this company provides boxed veg through to your house. They provide a monthly service where you order it online, you get vegetables served to your house in a box and delivered to your front door. So as a market stall, if you are selling fresh veg, for example, the really simple service that you could offer is purely delivering your product directly to somebody's house. the best way to order that in advance would obviously be a website, and it'd be fairly simple to set up with something like Shopify or WordPress. The other side of this is some kind of knowledge product. What could we sell that is a knowledge product for a market stall? Well, the one of the things I'm thinking about when I'm looking at kind of a knowledge product for this is how can we transfer the knowledge of the veg stall. I know I'm specifically talking about veg, but this could be applied to lots of other things that have got specialist knowledge, like a butcher's or a fishmonger's or something like that. How can we transfer the specialist knowledge of the veg stall owner to somebody else? So we could do that through an email newsletter if people are wanting to find out what's the best seasonal veg that they could use right now, what kind of recipes could they make. We could make a cookbook or a digital product, maybe put it on something like Gumroad, where people can download that for not very much money, but download it for a paid fee, and then you can transfer your knowledge through recipes or through hot tips like that are based on particular veg. Again, trying to target the super fans of finding the freshest veg and the seasonal veg and the kind of veg that you should be eating right now. And then obviously the product ties into the service. We're looking for ways to kind of make the physical product easier to purchase online. This ties into with the service for a veg stall, for example. You'd probably come up with some kind of monthly veg stall app, a monthly veg stall website where you can go on there and you can purchase veg on a monthly basis. So with those three examples, I hope I've kind of given you a little bit of inspiration for ways or means or products that you can actually sell online. Hopefully you're now thinking a little bit more laterally with the products that you could potentially sell. Even if I haven't covered it, there's lots more examples that we could look at and lots of ways to actually sell online. So I wanted to just quickly, before we finish, address the different platforms. I'm not going to go into these in detail, but if you are looking to sell a product online that is many of the examples that I've just been discussing, a subscription service or a physical product that you want to put into a digital realm, Shopify is one of the easiest ways to get started with that. It costs, I think it's $10 or $15 per month when you start it, which you'll quickly recoup if you've got some kind of popular service. The other ways that you could sell things, so if we're back to talking about market stalls, for example, you may, and I know there's a stall in Barnsley in my town that sell clothes and shoes. You could potentially look at something like eBay. eBay is still a very, very legitimate source for making money on. It's still a legitimate source for selling stuff, and it's not one that should be discounted because it's been around for such a long time. So if you do have some kind of market stall, you should seriously think about trying to sell your physical products in a digital realm, and eBay could be the perfect example for that. The other option is something like Amazon. People don't often think about Amazon as being something where you can sell your products on. People just think about it as a consumer-facing thing, but obviously people do sell their products on it because it's got millions of them. So you can become a seller on Amazon just like you can on eBay, although the loops you've got to jump through with Amazon are a little bit higher than eBay. There's no kind of application process with eBay. There is with Amazon, so the standard might be a bit higher and a bit more difficult to get on. But once you are on as an Amazon seller, you can sell any products you want. The other example, if you are selling a craft product or a one-off kind of product, Etsy is perfect for this. There is a thriving community on Etsy that are looking for traditional, or not even just traditional, but quirky and different and interesting products that people will buy, sometimes for gifts or just because they're interesting products. Etsy is perfect for that. People are selling all kinds of stuff on there, and I urge you to go check it out because it's a great example. It's specifically if you've got some kind of stall, the thing that you are selling, if it's unique or custom or handcrafted, Etsy might be right for you. The other one is WooCommerce. So if you are wanting to sell online, Shopify is one option. WooCommerce is another option, which is basically WordPress. You've probably heard of WordPress before. WooCommerce is the plugin for WordPress that lets you do e-commerce and stuff like that. And those are probably the only examples I think are best for me to cover in this. So I didn't really talk much about e-commerce, but I'm hoping I've kind of given you a bit of inspiration on how you might actually sell a product online. It's thinking about what things you can sell online digitally. If you're currently terrified of the current economic situation and you're not sure how you can turn your physical product online, think about your product in 3 different ways: knowledge, service, and product. Think carefully how you can transfer the knowledge, the knowledge that only you have, the specialist knowledge that you need for your product to create it in the first place. Think about how you can transfer some of that knowledge. Can you turn it into a book? Can you turn it into an online blog? Can you turn it into a series of podcasts, series of videos? The list is endless. Can you tweet a lot and tweet little tidbits of your knowledge to build up an audience and then sell them something afterwards? Then we look at things like services. Can you make some kind of online recurring digital service that you could keep people buying, that you could promote online? Examples of this that I talked about in this video was selling some kind of monthly veg box, a monthly service for coffee, so coffee gets delivered to your door. And then finally, how can you turn your physical product into a digital product? You might be able to strip all the physical stuff out of it and sell a purely digital product. But if you can't do that, if you are selling something that is physical, you can put it online. And the ways that you can put it online is you could look at selling it on something like Shopify, you could look at selling it on something like eBay, or you could look at selling it on something like Amazon, Etsy, or WooCommerce. Hopefully that's been really helpful. If you've got any questions at all about anything in this video, please tweet me or email me. There's more info about me on getdoingthings.com, or you can go to my Twitter, which is Craig Burgess. Hope you found it useful. I'll be back tomorrow with another video just like this one because I am stuck at home for 14 days. Tell me what you want me to cover tomorrow. If you want me to go into more e-commerce stuff or more of the marketing tactics, or basically narrowing down how to actually figure out a digital product, let me know and I'll speak to you soon.